Hey guys, it's Sabrina, the social media coordinator for J&M. I'm here with Johnny, a now recruiter and previous driver for J&M, and we're just going to ride around with him today and see what his experience has been as a driver and then now working on the more corporate side in the recruiting office.
Hey guys, I'm Johnny. I'm with J&M Tank Lines. I started driving with J&M back in 2016. When I first got to the company, it seemed like everything I wanted. It was the home time was there, the pay was there. Partly when I was doing my research on starting a new career, I called up several companies that did the similar freight, hauled pneumatics, had the local regional home time I was looking for, and I kind of compared them all, and it just seemed like J&M had the best home time, pay, benefits, just a better package overall. So I chose them, and I'm glad I did. It's been a great company. I love driving for them.
How was your transition from driving life into kind of the corporate side of recruiting? Was it smooth sailing? Did you have some adjustments to make? How did that go for you?
There was a steep learning curve of how we did our recruiting here at J&M. It was pretty good getting into the corporate side and getting to meet all the faces behind the operations. So everybody was really nice, respectful, helped me a lot. They kind of excited to have a driver inside.
What made you want to stick around and continue being a J&M employee, not only as a driver but now in your new recruiting position?
Well, J&M was pretty straightforward and honest from the get-go. Everything they said, they lived up to. As long as I did the work and did my job, got my loads there on time, they took care of me. The pay was good. The operations was awesome. The dispatch are some of the best guys I've ever worked with. Rarely did I ever miss work, but if something came up that was pretty serious, there was no questions asked. They would have my back. I felt like I was part of a family instead of a number. I had no reason really to look anywhere else. This was going to be my home, and the same in the recruiting side. It was well received when I went in there, and it's just the same. I mean, these guys are great guys.
What would you say was the most rewarding or exciting part about being a driver for J&M?
The most rewarding had to be, I was a driver trainer towards the end, probably the last 6 months I was driving, and that probably had to be the most rewarding. Getting guys that's never driven pneumatics. I had never driven a pneumatic coming on board. It's overwhelming at times. It can be frustrating, and getting those guys, not only were they knew how to operate it, but they did it well and safe. Just getting the feedback from the dispatch, hey, that guy you trained, he's doing a killer job out there. That was definitely the most rewarding experience.
But what would you say was probably the most challenging, or maybe your least favorite part of the job, whether it's working for J&M or just being a driver in general?
Well, that's pretty easy. It's a pretty easy answer. Most drivers are going to probably agree. The worst part of the driving job with J&M or any driving job is hitting Atlanta traffic. Traffic's terrible. It's about the only thing that can get me frustrated driving a truck. When you're having a good day and you get behind a crash in Atlanta, you're pretty much, your day's going to be tough, To the best of my knowledge, the only times I've ever really had frustrated, just terrible days, has been traffic related, or, sometimes maybe maintenance, but most of the time, traffic, construction. That's going to be it.
So, Johnny, you touched on dispatchers and how they're some of the greatest people you worked with. Does that mean that you just had a great relationship with your dispatcher, or how was that with your dispatcher?
Well, the best way I can describe it is we communicated on a daily basis. We called, we texted. It was like working with my dispatcher was like working with a buddy. He would let me know in advance what I had to do if anything came up. We always communicate. Communication was really important to me, and it was to him, and we just got along well. Anytime anything came up, it was, I got you, man, just do the best you can. There was no, he didn't treat us any less. They're good guys. They're trained well, and treat you like a number. They treat you like an individual, and the way they should. You know, you're their coworker.
This question is going to be regarding more of your recruiting experience. What home time do J&M drivers receive?
Well, it depends on what terminal you're running out of. We've got, you know, several here in the southeast, some in Texas, Carolinas. We run regional. We've got some local. We've got some long haul. Our local guys are just that, local. They're home most nights. Regional guys are typically out 2 to 3 nights a week. Even our long haul guys, they might be out maybe 5 days a week. So it's not, even our long haul isn't, you know, out weeks on end with, you know, a 5-day break.
What training did you get starting at J&M?
Well, like I said, I've never done pneumatic tanks before. I've drove just about everything else. It was a little intimidating at first, just because tanker is kind of the prestigious end of driving. Most guys want to reach tanker, and I know it required a little more, you know, knowledge on the trucks or on the tanks. So it was a little intimidating at first, but I had one of the best trainers. He's actually our orientation guy now, Keith Weisner. He started out as a driver at J&M as well. Now he's doing the driver training and orientation. He was my trainer. He went over everything pretty textbook, and gave me 5 days of pretty intense hands-on training. And yeah, after 5 days, I felt like I've been doing it my whole life.
A lot of guys talk about taking their truck into the shop and working with the maintenance guys. What was your relationship like with them, whether it was just minor maintenance stuff or something actually went wrong with your truck?
Well, most of our trucks are newer, so we don't run into too many issues. My maintenance guy in Villa Rica was Danny. Super cool guy, man. He would let me know anytime my truck was due for service way in advance, so I could make time to get there and get it serviced. He's got a great crew working for him. They get stuff done really quick. Of course, they put you in another truck or another trailer while yours is getting serviced, so you really don't have too much downtime. But yeah, the group of guys, at least in Villa Rica, are awesome.
In your experience as a driver with J&M, did you ever experience a slowdown where you maybe didn't have as many hauls, or the same paycheck just wasn't coming in week to week or month to month?
Well, you know, driving's up and down. You know, your paychecks, it's not a salary. It's really kind of what you get out there and earn. So, I mean, paychecks do vary. It stayed pretty much in the same range. There is a slowdown season for, you know, for cement. That's really all I can speak of. That's all I've ran with this company, cement. But it's not bad. It's usually December, January, slowdown months. And even when it slows down, it's less customer freight, but you're still doing a lot of stock transfers. So you're still staying busy. And that's why J&M has their minimum guarantee. You know, we've got a safety net there that pays out in most of our terminals. And you know, if anything was to happen, like for instance, when it flooded in Houston and all those drivers were just sitting there not getting paid, our drivers were getting paid. You know, that's the purpose of that safety net.